What a piece of junk.
Yes.
Well, wait, don't say that tonight.
We're streaming as the cuckoo goes off.
Wow.
Lovely.
All right, let me go.
Welcome,
share
Facebook people. We are streaming, and for you watching on YouTube later, this is Technorama Podcast. We are doing the pre-show right now. I'm Chuck Tomasi. Joining me on the live stream is also Craig Stepp.
Hola.
Or, as you may know him as Greg Stepp.
Greg.
Yeah.
We have a friend in Korea that does videos. He's a British expat. Does a series of videos called Working With. So he's got Working with Todoist, Working with Evernote, Working with Productivity, and we've done some guest spots on there. And the subtitle is correct. It says Craig Stepp.
But she always says Greg.
But his name is Carl Pauline, and he always says, joining me today is Greg Stepp.
Yeah.
And he says it multiple times. I feel so bad for the guy. I don't know.
I think that's just the way he pronounces it. I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
And the TG Geeks are here.
Yeah.
Ben
Oh,
and Keith. They're going to
boy.
hijack the show again.
Again.
We haven't
Always.
been hijacked
We
in a
will
while.
do our damnedest. Darndest. Dangdest.
Dangdest. Ding diddly dangdest.
We'll do our bestest.
Bender, that's the dangdest wang I ever doodled. All right. We are streaming, so let's get on with the show.
Okay.
All right. It's been so long, I don't know what buttons to hit anymore. Technorama episode 527. We're back, baby.
Good morning, folks. This is your captain speaking.
Technorama.
Remember when?
Technorama.
On this day in tech history.
Tech.
And now, the news. What the chuck?
Technorama.
Welcome to Blockhead Video. Over there, in the media corner.
Fail.
Technorama.
Hold my beer and watch this.
Unfasten your seatbelts and disregard all safety rules. Here are your flight crew, Chuck and Craig.
Wow.
I reached for the wrong mute button, then I hit solo, and it just went downhill from there. We're on a good track.
Yeah.
I was supposed to say it's been a while, and I forgot where I left my keys to the podcast. Welcome to Technorama. This is the show that tries to get off the ground, but, rarely ever succeeds.
Whale-oiled machine.
Whale-oiled?
Wheel.
Yeah.
Whale.
Whale-oiled?
Whale.
Whale oil.
You can't use whale oil anymore for anything.
Is it illegal? I don't know.
Stop killing whales to make whale oil. Stop killing babies to make baby oil.
Yeah.
And stop killing alligators to make Gatorade. This is a show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If this is your first time joining us, thank you. I apologize for that crazy introduction, but you know what? That's sort of the spirit of the whole show. We just keep going. We're here to have fun. If you're a returning listener and viewer, you know this, and thank you. Welcome back. We appreciate you giving us your time. I am Chuck Tomasi, and joining me with always, right over there,
As always.
is Craig Stepp. How are you, Craig?
I'm doing good. I'm bathing in whale oil right now.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. It's for that sunburn, huh?
That's right. Little red on the face. Yes.
He gets
doing good. How
one
about
day
you
of
guys?
sunshine, and he takes advantage of it.
There you go.
Yeah, big time.
Also joining us here in the Binary Studios in sunny Phoenix, Arizona, are
Keith and Ben,
better
Hey,
known
Chuck.
as,
the two gay geeks.
and they're here to hijack the show. So anything is
Today
possible.
we have Ben and Keith. I'm sorry, we're picking up.
From the Castle Anthrax, I guess.
Yes. And now,
No.
no
Let's stop there.
spanking today.
And afterwards,
The rest of the show.
Letters.
every day.
Every day, including Sundays.
Are we doing the dance?
We'll do some kind of dance.
Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh,
boy! Mailman, mail today.
we need to change that doorbell. Kind of sticking there in the last little.
I'm going to bring up the video on the video screen so we can have
By
somebody
the way,
say
I
hi
love
to.
Ben's dance moves over there.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
The only problem with this camera being so close is you can't see my arms doing the
Move them in
dance.
closer to your head.
I did.
Do the T-Rex dance.
Yeah.
Our question, if you remember back on February 11th.
February 11th?
That's the last show we
Holy
did.
moly.
Yeah, it's been a while. Was if you were dropped off in 1870, what job would you be qualified to do? And we got a note from our wonderful longtime listener, Kyle Nishioka, better known as Mad Marv, who said, well, fortunately, if I got dropped in 1870, I'm still qualified to be a civil engineer.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, that time frame is more about railroads, bridges, and canal building, and probably not much of what I actually do these days. It's hard to imagine what the 19th century versions of infrastructure was like, but I'm sure I could design it.
There you go.
How about you guys? What would you be qualified to do in 1870?
Take out the trash.
Shoveling the barn.
Yeah, that's about it.
Make a garden.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd be the manager of the general store.
Yeah.
I watch the people come in, help them get their goods, that kind of thing.
Well, maybe work for a newspaper.
Newspaper. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Typesetting
Yeah.
was oh so fast.
Oh.
And then you can,
Ooh.
You know, but
We
you
were
can
just talking
claim
about that the other
blogging
day.
before
Yeah,
it was cool.
yeah, but I think I might be able to, I may be qualified to do some kind of reporting since we kind of do that anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Mrs. O'Leary's cow just knocked over a lantern. Film at 11.
Right.
Yeah.
Paper tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless it burns down.
Craig,
Anyway.
what were your thoughts on that subject?
I really racked my brain on that, and I'm like, I don't know if
Is
I could
that
take
what
my
I
skill
heard?
set back then. I don't know what I could do.
I'd go to
Uh,
sea and see what I could see. And
Yeah.
probably
Yes,
get
sir.
whale oil.
I grew
yeah,
up.
I was
Yeah, I
saying.
grew up in the lumber business, so I probably could do that.
I have a feeling I'd be sweeping the general store. Just,
I can do that too.
hey, we got a shipment. Go bring all those sacks of seed up here. Okay. That's what I'd be doing.
Load them up, Craig. All right, we have
Again.
to
Load 'em up,
pass
move
out the
'em out.
D20s. It's history
Oh
time.
boy.
Oh,
Oh dear.
and
boy.
I got it
My
right.
nose is itching.
Take one down, pass it around. Oh. This is more of a drop than a roll. Oh, I
right,
can't
here
even
we go.
cheat my way out of this. I rolled
91.
I rolled a 1 twice.
91.
91. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 16.
Yeah. I got a
All right, here we
5.
go.
I'm done.
Oh, I got a 13.
A 13? So
Yeah.
16?
16.
13? What do you get?
A
Keith?
5.
A 5.
What'd you get? 1.
Wow,
You know
you need to
that
get
video
some
I
dice.
made?
Yeah.
You need to
When
get some
I
new
roll
dice.
a 1.
So,
All right, so it's
Me.
Ben,
Craig. Keith.
Keith,
and
Chuck.
then
That
you.
doesn't go around in a circle.
No, it
That's
doesn't. It
weird.
crisscrosses a bit.
Ben.
More like a star pattern.
Yeah, sort of a star pattern.
it's an X.
Well,
an
we'll try
X.
to keep up, listener, but if we get out of order, we apologize.
Well, we'll just
Let's-
step on each other like we
Let's
always do.
roll the music.
Let's try and trick Craig into the tough ones.
On this day in history for March 21st, 2018, this is the 80th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 285 days remaining in 2018.
And it was on this date in 1871 that journalist Henry Morton Stanley begins his trek to find the missionary and explorer David Livingstone. Professor Livingstone, I presume.
Also on this day in 1925, the Butler Act prohibits the teaching of human evolution in Tennessee.
Holy moly.
I think the rock and roll geek had something to do with that.
Yeah. It was 90 years ago today that Charles Lindbergh is presented with the Medal of Honor for the first solo transatlantic flight.
Woo-hoo. It was also on this date in 1963 that the Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary in California closes due to insufficient school funds.
And NASA launches Ranger 9, the last in a series of unmanned lunar space probes on this date in 1965.
1965.
And 53 years ago today, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. leads 3,200 people on the start of the third and finally successful Civil Rights March from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama.
Finally got across that bridge.
Yeah. Also today in 1970, the first Earth Day proclamation is issued by Joseph Alioto, mayor of San Francisco.
Also on March 21st, 1994, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change enters into force.
Bertrand Piccard and Brian Jones become the first to circumnavigate the Earth in a hot air balloon on this date in 1999.
You know, Bertrand Piccard is the great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Right. Of Jean-Luc.
Yeah.
I was going to say, okay, there you go. It was 12 years ago today that the social media site Twitter is founded.
It's the Twitter?
The Twitter.
The
Twitter.
Twitters.
The Twitters.
Twitters.
Yes.
Twitter.
I have the
And
Facebook, too.
I probably had an account there for 12 years, to be honest with you.
And I have an Instagram.
That's
Instagram.
Happy birthday goes out on this date to American inventor Mary Dixon Keys, born on this date in 1752.
Joseph Fourier, the French mathematician and physicist, was born 250 years ago today. No relation to that strange woman who gave me a Facebook Messenger invite a couple of days ago with the same last name.
What?
And
No,
born
she's
March
haunting
21st,
you.
1839, Russian pianist and composer Modest Mussorgsky.
Yes.
American astronomer and astrophysicist Antonia Murray, born on this date in 1866.
I'm so glad Ben got the Russian musician name. I was struggling with that.
Really?
Modest Mussorgsky?
Modest Mussorgsky? Modest.
Modest Mussorgsky.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. I got that one nailed now.
George David Birkhoff, the American mathematician, was born 134 years ago today.
Oh, goody, I get this one. Jewish-Austrian mathematician, physicist, and philosopher from the Vienna Circle, Friedrich Weissmann, was born 122 years ago today.
Forrest Mars Sr., American candy maker, created M&M's, and Mars Bar was born on that same date in 1904.
It's a good thing he didn't make chocolate laxatives, or everybody would be saying, "Run, Forrest, run!"
I don't get it.
Run for Mars!
I hope you don't get it. American businessman and co-founder E.J. Gallo Winery, Julio Gallo,
I knew
born on this date.
He got it wrong.
Julio!
I think it's Julio
Oh, Julio,
Gallo.
I'm sorry.
It's Julio
Julio
Gallo.
Gallo.
And it's
Whatever.
not, it's also E&J Gallo Winery.
That's what I said.
No, you said EJ.
E&J. Never mind.
E and J.
Go to the
He's
next
not-
day.
He's not old enough to remember the commercials.
Yeah.
I do. What are you talking about? I remember the commercials.
It's Julio Gallo.
I know. Just move on.
Move on. Born March 21st, 1911, African-American scientist and inventor Walter Lincoln Hawkins.
Russ Meyer, American director, producer, and screenwriter, was born on that same date in 1922. Is that the Meyer from MGM? Metro Goldwyn Meyer?
I don't
No,
think
no.
so, no.
No, it's Louis B. Mayer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
I knew I could count on the film guys for backing me up on this.
And born March 21st, 1927, American-German astronomer and critic Halton Arp.
Halton Arp.
That sounds like
Oh, I
something you
lost
do
my
on your
place.
network.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
Halton Arp.
Halton Arp.
American physicist and chemist, Nobel Prize laureate Walter Gilbert is 86 today.
Also turning 72 today is Welsh-English actor Timothy Dalton.
Known for?
Well, among other things, he was the high. Oh, what is it there in Doctor Who? The council.
Well, in Doctor Who,
he.
he played Rassilon.
I was going for James
I thought
Bond,
he
but okay.
played-
Timothy Dalton, he played Rassilon in
Oh, he
Doctor
played
Who.
Rassilon. He was also in.
But
James
he was James Bond, and he was
Bond.
also Prince Baron in Flash.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. I forgot about that. American singer, songwriter, and guitarist Eddie Money
Eddie Money.
was born on this date in 1949. Take me home tonight.
Also turning 65 today is English computer scientist and academic Steve Ferber.
And also born on this same date in 1962, American actor Matthew Broderick.
He's only a year younger than me?
Here's
Holy
the kicker.
cow.
He's the same age as this next person.
American actress, producer, and talk show host Rosie O'Donnell is 56 today.
I would never have imagined Matthew Broderick and Rosie O'Donnell were the same age.
Yep.
She just seems so much older.
Yeah.
We ran out of music.
Are we recycling?
You started over?
No. We're just going to play that out. We'll do the listener birthdays after. Yay! The parade is over. Happy birthday to our listeners for this upcoming week. Crazy Joe Fiore from Megapodtastic. He's got, Joe, I got to give you a clue. Go to our wiki and fix it. It still says Megapodzilla and goes to the old URL. So,
Yeah.
He's
so disappointing.
Birthday's on the 21st. Yeah, I'm sure there's just everywhere that he's looking for that. The 23rd has 2 birthdays. Steve Rickyberg, a.k.a. Missing Intellect, formerly of Geek Cred. Richard Parkman is also on the 23rd. On the 25th is Nicholas St. Gabriel. 26, among many other people.
Who is this guy?
Who is this Chuck Tomassi
Mr.
guy?
Nimoy?
Yeah, Chuck Tomassi.
My nephew Travis?
Who
He's
put
got
this
same
on the
birthday.
calendar?
Yeah.
Who is this Tomassi guy?
We needed to seed the calendar because originally there was nobody there.
Yeah,
Had to seed it.
It's my birthday on the 26th, and it is also Brenna Baird in Hampton, Virginia. Happy birthday to all of you. If you are not on the birthday calendar, you can go over to the URL right there at chuckchat.com/wiki and get your name on there. We'll give you a shout out at the appropriate time of year. And I know we were off for like 4 or 5 weeks. So happy birthday to everybody from like February 18th through today.
The present.
I hope you had a wonderful birthday and enjoy another trip around the sun. Thank you. That's the way it was on this day for March 21st,
Hippo birdie
2018.
to use.
All right. Now, this first one comes up from a personal note.
And the good news keeps on coming.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why you put this in here, but
Because
go for it.
Donna went over to, was it a friend's house? And you said Google Maps said, turn left at the McDonald's.
At the McDonald's?
It's using landmarks. Which I think makes total sense, unless they're out of date, of course.
Well, yeah.
Turn left at the place that used to be, Ben Johnson's farm.
Well, I was in my first business trip to the New England area. I was up in Connecticut, where all of the towns have a certain street, and I was like 4 towns over from where I needed to be, and I called because I just didn't know how to get there. And this was before handheld devices.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the MapQuest thing and print it out, which I used to do. You know?
Oh, my God.
And then always wound up in the middle of a field. But I called the guy and he said, yeah, you go down here and then there's a rusted out 57 Chevy and you'll turn right there. And then Clarabelle the cow, you'll turn left at her.
Well, you're supposed to stop and ask, are you Clarabelle or are you Becky? I can't.
Or something equally as crazy. I mean, the directions were like kooky.
And you want to turn a right that is like 2 stops before the red barn.
Like, oh my God. I was lucky I got there.
That's why I said, what's next? You're nailing it.
Yeah.
I want to see the Google Maps with that on it. The irrelevant instructions.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I don't know if that's an option you have to turn on or it's just going to start doing that.
Oh, I hope not. It doesn't start doing that.
Really? You don't think that would be helpful?
Well, but
A
yeah,
lot of times road signs aren't easy to see.
Well,
that's true. But the nice thing about
I want the hybrid.
Yeah.
Well, if it said, turn left at Osgood Street where the Starbucks is.
Yeah,
but the neat thing, at least with maps now, I mean, I know Keith sometimes prefers to use Google Maps, but I know that with the maps that is on the iOS devices, at least now they're kind of, if possible, they're kind of warning you ahead of time, right turn coming up or a left turn coming up. So you have that advantage in most cases.
In most cases.
Yes.
Turn left at the crack house. Okay.
Exactly. Well, which one?
There's 4 on this block. Don't you know what you're talking about?
Okay, Google, take me to my pot drop off. Hey, turn left at the crack house. I had to turn my Google Home off. Sorry.
And speaking of additive information,
hey Siri,
NASA wants your pictures of clouds to verify its satellite data. Craig, why don't you take this one?
Sure. So NASA announced this week that it's looking for some citizen scientists to help out with the project. 6 orbiting instruments make up NASA's clouds and Earth's radiant energy system, CERES. CERES. C-E-R.
Ceres?
Anyway,
Oh.
Ceres, whatever. Serious. I'm serious. Project, and they are used to study the Earth's climate and the role clouds play in climate change.
What kind
But
of
sometimes it's
instruments?
hard for the instruments to differentiate clouds from other earthly objects.
Like
Yeah,
snow?
like buildings.
A
Like
trumpet
buildings.
is up
Maybe
there?
snow, I guess.
Crack houses?
Trombone up
Okay.
there, instruments.
McDonald's?
Clouds? What?
No,
Yeah.
it says
Oh,
there's
the instruments. Oh, yes. It's hard for these instruments.
It can be.
Harmonicas,
Oh my God, yeah, the harmonica. That's a tough one.
accordions.
Oh yeah,
You can
not
only-
enough air up there.
Keep going, Craig.
Yeah, okay. So, for example, here we go. Here's for example, NASA says that thin, wispy cirrus clouds and snow can easily be confused because they're both cold and bright. Differentiation gets even more difficult when these clouds hang out above the patches of snow, and that's where citizen scientists come in. So NASA is looking for people to take pictures of clouds in the sky and share them through an app. If you time the photos to coincide with cirrus satellites passing overhead, okay, I guess the app would tell you that. I'm just take a good guess. NASA can compare the images taken from the instruments with images taken from the individuals down below and make sure what's being noted by satellites as clouds really being, well, a cloud. Looking at what the observer recorded as clouds and looking at the surface observations really help us better understand the images that we're matched globally, or matched from satellite.
Well, that is feeding the data for the AI. That's what it's doing.
Yeah, it's like playing that game with
Make it a
Google.
little smarter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just saying, okay, we've seen this from up above, and this is what we've seen below, so that they can start doing an algorithm to say, is it truly a cloud, or is it snow, or is it a cloud above snow?
Well,
Are we saying they're
you
giving
know.
ammunition to Skynet to start
Yeah.
doing weather control?
I don't know if I find this
Yeah.
totally valuable because we live in Phoenix. There really aren't a whole lot of clouds except
Well,
for certain times of year.
Well,
Monsoon.
We have the chemtrails, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they're all straight, so you can tell.
I think it makes sense.
If you're in a snowy country, it's like, okay, the weather in Alaska. Well, there's snow on the ground, and we have clouds above. We're not sure if we're looking at clouds or snow. Hey, send a signal out to the app to all the people in Anchorage.
Yeah.
Hey, Anchorage, would you go take a picture? They're going to go, oh, hell no, it's too cold.
Exactly.
I have to take my gloves off for that.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's just
so
going to work